this person asked, does Roof Maxx do re-roofs as well?
Most of our dealers are standalone Roof Maxx dealers, and they specialize in Roof Maxx treatments. Now, we do have some dealers who are also roofing contractors. So, but the majority of our dealers are Roof Maxx dealers, but you just have to ask that local dealer. Now, most of our dealers do have a relationship with a good roofing contractor that they know who's referring them business. And one of the ways to know that a contractor is a good contractor, if your dealer is also a roofing contractor, they're not in the business of just selling roofs. And today, the vast majority of roofing contractors don't even do repairs or any type of maintenance. Now, they won't tell you that. You'll call and say, I have a roof leak, and they're going to come out and try to sell you a new roof no matter what the situation, and the majority of the time. So if a roofing contractor also offers Roof Maxx, that tells you a lot about the contractor. Also, if a dealer is referring a contractor, they're referring that contractor because that contractor is also referring them, which means that contractor is not running around trying to sell everybody a roof. They may come out and there's a roof leak, and they may go out and do that repair and then say, hey, your roof's drying out. Call this company. They can help you extend the life of your roof. And they show you pictures of the granules and the gutters as an example. So that's also another good sign that somebody's doing what's right by the consumer, which the vast majority of contractors today are just trying to sell new roofs, unfortunately.
Right. So yeah. So if you have a roof and you don't have a whole bunch of missing shingles or existing leak problems, you just kind of see that it's worn. There's maybe some granulation. It'd be a great idea to call Roof Maxx first and see what they have to say about being able to apply Roof Maxx to the roof, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, even if you're thinking you need a new roof, I suggest to have Roof Maxx come out and look at it. And again, unless you just want to change the color of the roof, right, or you've got the $15,000 and you're not concerned about it, right? You just feel more confident with a new roof. Hey, is a new roof going to be better than Roof Maxx? You're not going to beat a new roof, but $15,000 is a lot of money, and we can restore those shingles back to like new condition. The flashings are made of metal most of the time, and they'll last for 50 years or more. So, and again, when you rip off a roof, you're getting all brand new flashings and new shingles. So in a perfect world, if money grew on trees, right? Remove the roof, expose the decking, the wood, make sure there's none of that that's rotted, and do all of those things. But, if there haven't been problems with the roof, and it's not, like I said, not been a problematic roof, most likely there's not issues with the decking. Most likely the flashings are fine. It can take a couple years for a roof leak to show up inside the home, but if you've been in that home for 10 or 15 years, or even 5 years, and you haven't had leaks, then your roof's probably fine. It's just getting old. Yeah. And we need to rejuvenate and put some life back into those shingles.
Yeah. And it seems to me like, my family, a couple of working parents, handful of kids, if you feel like your roof needs to be changed, getting an extra 5 years out of it and feeling safe about that while you budget and save money and tuck it away, that seems to be a really awesome option.
Let's talk about your situation, Alan.
Yeah.
You work with this company because you were getting solar down in Florida. You called up our local Roof Maxx dealer, and it turned out that we had a need for someone like you in our company to help tell our story.
Yeah.
And, and that's how you came across Roof Maxx. And it made sense for you and your family. It was a different situation. It was for solar, and you were trying to strengthen your roof. But so yeah, we've got a lot of customers that use us that have young families.
Since getting the Roof Maxx treatment on our house, we've been saving a little money, because at the same time we were getting the Roof Maxx quote, we were getting roof quotes, and sure enough, you're looking at $12,000, $13,000, $14,000 just for an asphalt roof. And we want a metal roof, yeah, that's even more. This has allowed us to kind of have a plan and save some money aside for that big bill when it comes around.
The quality of shingles have gotten so poor in your market, and it's become a huge, huge issue down there, as you're aware. The insurance companies are sending people letters today, and not just in Florida, really heavy in Florida because of the liability with insurance, but we're seeing it across the country more and more every year. At 15 years, it's time to replace the roof. Mm-hmm. And in Florida, they'll drop your insurance if you don't replace the roof, many of the insurance carriers.
Yeah.
So that's just a sign of what's happened to the quality of the product. Now, fortunately, the design of a shingle, it's a fiberglass mat. So it's a woven fiberglass mat. It's asphalt, waterproofing asphalt, and it's ceramic granules on top of it. So as long as we can keep the asphalt flexible, it'll help lock the granules in place. The fiberglass mat's going to last forever. Put that in a landfill, it's there 200 years later. Right. So shingle manufacturing is pretty simple, the components that make up an asphalt shingle. So again, keep the oils in the shingle, you've got a roof that's going to last for many, many years.
Yeah, you're trying to keep all the materials together. If you can keep all the materials in this, let's call it armor for your house, right, together, then they'll operate as they're supposed to, or as they were intended.
Yeah, pretty simple. Yeah. And today's product, as we say, 15 to 20 years, 15 years in Florida, 20 years in northern markets. That used to be 30 years. It used to be a product that would last 30 years. The old 30-year product of 2 decades ago is now called a lifetime product. What used to be called a 30-year product. And it's not 320 pounds. The old shingles were 30-year shingles used to be 320 pounds per 10 by 10 area, 100 square feet. Today, those shingles weigh 225 pounds, 230 pounds, and they're calling it a 50-year or a lifetime product. So again, it's a lot of, it's really poor marketing, dishonest marketing.